Here we go. So pop ring, the pop ring is this thing, yeah, and that is a pneumatic ring like a little tyre, and it's fed by this pneumatic thing here, and it's got this little stopper goer in it like a little valve. So and this top bit is a snapper with a weight on it. A snapper, you know those things you like press it and then drop it on the ground and it pops way up in the air, you know those things, like a snapper. So it's one of those of sorts, specially designed for this job, not as heavy as the ones you would normally see, a bit thinner. And this ring, when you inflate it, gets bigger, and that pulls the snapper flat, so that pulls it to the unsnap position, and then when the thing pops like that to let the pressure out, it snaps. This snaps that way, like about an inch. Yeah, that's about the actual size of it. And look, that's a pen. Yeah, so it's not a big item as such, but it's pneumatically powered snapper. So you inflate it, it goes flat. You let that thing out and it goes like that, and the weight goes down, right? So you have loads of these on the bottom of your craft, your like of an aircraft, right? Which is a circle, for want of a better way, a circle like that with a bit of a tail. This is looking from the bottom, right? So it's a circle like that with a bit of a tail. You see that? Yeah? And you have them on the bottom of it. Like, you know, like an octopus has got like sucker pads, yeah? So you'd have, look, you see how many of them? There'd be loads of them all around the outside around, and maybe make a star pattern of them in the middle, yeah? Maybe some big, slightly bigger ones to make it go. This is a hump in the middle, what I call the steering hump. So it's a bit of a bump, and it's got the snappers round it. So if this side is snapping, it'll go that way. If that side is snapping, it'll go that way, basically. So this is what I call the steering hump, and then all of this outside here will be regularly snapping anywhere. So, and it snaps in patterns like snap there, like in a pattern, like not a random pattern, because it wants to go. It's almost in a star pattern, so it goes tick, 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 and it's lifting that bit, then that bit, then that bit, and then there's more than enough in each part to lift, and then let the snapper relax and fire another one in a couple of seconds, and the whole thing is staying in the air, and it's sort of rolling like that as it goes tick, 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 tick. The snappers will hold it in the air, and this thing, as you can see, it's just like very thin plastic and a bit of tube and tubing, and it's very thin and not very heavy, and it's made of a similar material, very, very, very light bit of a disc and a skin that's like stretched over it. It's very light that the snappers are on, so it's sort of like a rubber skin that it sort of sits on, that sort of, but it'll be constantly pushing itself up in the air, so it'll be bouncing like that. It'll be a rubber skin with the snappers on that sort of bounces like that, but will push it up in the air, and a ring like that, and a sort of almost like a skin top as well. You know, this for a machine, it's got to be very light. Obviously an insect is a very light machine, you know. Anyway, so it's a circle like that with the snappers on the bottom and the steering hub, and you use a tank of pressurized air. Obviously that's going to sit, a disc-shaped tank that you can pressurize a lot, like, so the tank will have to be quite strong, but made out of sort of titanium or something like that, so it's not very heavy. And the whole thing is, can you get enough pressure in a tank to run the gig to get the thing off the ground, you know. And anyway, that's the design.